Coming up on 10:24 in the morning, the John Mendola Show. Join us online, thejohnmendolashow.com. Follow us on Twitter. Subscribe to us on YouTube. Get to our picks each and every week. Well, a big game in northeastern Pennsylvania last night. It was Southern Columbia and Wyoming area. Joining us right now is the head football coach of the Tigers of Southern Columbia, Jim Roth. And, Coach, we appreciate you joining us this morning. Always a busy Saturday in Tiger country. You guys are always working hard there. Let's talk about the coming to Wyoming area last night and getting a win.
Yeah, it was a great experience for our team, for their team, in the sense that there was a huge crowd there. It was the first time that we've ever arrived to a stadium for a game, and there were probably a couple thousand people already in the stadium. So that was a unique situation, and just we knew when I contacted when we reached out to Wyoming area about playing, we knew that it would be a good experience in that regard, a big game and a lot of fans, and the type of thing that you want your players to experience, win or lose. Yeah. Obviously, we came out on the good end of the score. The score does not indicate the competitiveness of the game. I mean, Wyoming area is a good football team. They have a big physical front, and they have some good skill players. Quarterback, obviously, is an outstanding player, and we had some problems in a number of areas, especially during the first half. But we just have a lot of really outstanding, explosive kids that eventually kind of took over and made it a pretty easy win in the end. But again, as I said, it was a lot more competitive than the score would indicate.
There have been some tremendous football teams at Southern Columbia going back to some of those first state championships, and you guys have done an outstanding job with the program. And everybody's going to compare, hey, how was the 94 team, the 96 team, and different things like that. But flat out, this 2019 Southern Columbia football team is it's unbelievable. It really is just a tremendous amount of talent. What's it like getting these guys to work? Is it just like whatever you guys have been doing, it's pretty much old hat?
Well, yeah, I mean, my staff does a great job in keeping the players focused and coaching them like we haven't accomplished anything in the past, and we're still trying to prove ourselves. So, we're kind of always looking forward, and, with high school kids and the success we've had recently, you're always going to fight complacency to some extent. But, again, our staff does a good job in that area, and at the same time, I think we just have a lot of players that are hardworking, determined types of football players, high school football players, that it's not real hard for us to keep that intensity and that focus. And a good example of that is through the middle of the season here with a lot of these wins. You see the score, but the score doesn't tell everything. We haven't played down to the level of a weaker opponent or a team program that's struggling. They go out and they play hard every game. There's a lot of consistency there. And so that's one thing that probably sets this team apart from previous outstanding teams, is the fact that it just seems like regardless of the opponent, they go out and play at a very high level the entire time they're on the field until, we may start to substitute. And then on top of it, our senior class is a once-in-a-career class. I mean, we have 5 full scholarship players there, 4 going to the Big Ten. For a AA school, that just doesn't happen. That'll never happen again. It's never happened before. And so you have a good program. We've had a good program in the past, but then when you get 4 or 5 athletes like that, in a school our size at this level, it really puts you over the top.
Yeah, absolutely. You took the words right out of my mouth. Having that amount of guys going D1 and the significance of the players. And we go back all those years ago, you would try to get guys to be, play on one side of the ball. In 2019, how many Southern Columbia Tigers are playing one side of the ball?
Let's see. Starting players, Julian Fleming, who's obviously a very elite athlete and football player, is really the only one that plays 2 ways full time. And pretty much everybody else on our team plays one way, whether it be offense or defense.
It's unbelievable. It's just unbelievable. It's something that you guys are doing back in the 90s. It's funny stuff. Coach, as far as the energy from these seniors and trying to motivate them, is this pretty much they get on the younger players, they motivate them? They're a pretty vocal group, including Julian?
Yeah, that's the other thing, because they have there's just a real strong character with that group for the level they've achieved and for what they have in the future moving forward, the success they've had. They've really stayed grounded and worked hard, and so that's been a tremendous that's provided a tremendous impact on our younger players as far as their leadership and just the way they conduct themselves. And we certainly next year will be an entirely different challenge when this class graduates. But what's a good thing with the way they function on a daily basis is they're kind of setting the foundation for these younger guys for the future. So not only are they obviously helping us have a lot of success right now, but their presence and the way they handle themselves on a regular basis is going to pay dividends in the future, just because of our younger guys and seeing how, like if these guys are, Big Ten scholarship players and they're going to come in and bust their butt every day like they've never accomplished anything, we certainly have to do the same thing. So, yeah, they've been real positive in those areas.
We're talking with Jim Roth, the Southern Columbia football coach, who's also the athletic director. Coach, you've been at this a long time. There's been tremendous success as far as, you guys never get complacent. How do you guys keep it going as a coaching staff and try to soak up that component of it to make sure that, hey, we're still hungry, we're still going after it, we still want it? But I'm sure the kids kind of remind you of that. The community that's behind you reminds you of that as well.
Yeah, like I said, our staff does a good job of keeping players focused on a regular basis. I mean, and that's a cliche, one day at a time type of thing. But it is the truth. When you have a program that's been successful, you have to find ways to make sure that you don't develop a sense of complacency or guys start getting a little bit lazy, and actually you're fighting the outside forces, the noise, as they say. Don't listen to the noise. Because, virtually at this point, anybody that we play, regardless of their record, whether it be last night, this coming week against Montoursville, who's undefeated, these guys hear things in the community, this team can't stay with you, you won't have any problem. So, you have to keep reminding them that, those are not the statements you need to pay attention to or to take to heart. You need to, follow the direction of the coaches, the leadership of the players on the team, because it's gotten to the point now where, they hear a lot of that. And so, but again, we've done a good job of making them realize that and realize that, fans are fans and they're going to hear those types of things, but they need to understand that, when we play a team, we're going to get their best shot. And, so we have to be ready every week, and especially when we get in a big game like last night or this coming week. And regardless of what people say, we got to be ready to go and play our best football. Yeah, you guys have probably done one of the best jobs at any level, any sport, of keeping your guys focused week after week. There's always a focus at Southern Columbia, and that's because of Jim Roth and the coaching staff. Coach, thanks for your time. Get back to work there with your Tigers, and the rest of the way, good luck. We hope to talk to you sometime in November. All right, thanks a lot, John. Thanks for having me on.
You got it. Jim Roth, the head football coach of Southern Columbia. As far as I could remember, back to the 90s and covering him every Saturday morning, lifting and running. That is a factory. It is a machine, and those guys put in the work. There's no doubt about it. We come back, we're going to talk about a hardworking team. It is the Wilkes-Barre Area Wolfpack Boys soccer team. Their head coach and a few players will join us. Jack Nolan in studio with us. We'll take a time out now. Let's get out to our local State Farm insurance agent, Jeremy Baczynski. Break like a good neighbor. Jeremy Baczynski, with locations in Pottsville and Drums, is there. We'll be back here on WILK.